everybody, welcome to the Vitruvian Live. Today is Monday, September 2nd. First day at work today after my trip to Greece. Sixth time we went there. We went to Paros, which is an island in the Cyclades or Cyclades or however you want to pronounce it. We went there for the first time 6 years ago when it was still organized as this thing called Cardboard and Sun, because the apartments where we stay, they have a big board game collection, so you can play games if you wish. This time it was kind of a reunion, so the organization decided not to do it anymore because lack of time. But some people decided to make a Facebook page. Robinson, you're in front of the camera. A Facebook page to, well, do this reunion kind of thing, just to find a time to go with as many people as we could find. And we were with, I think, 12 people in the end. So that's pretty cool. So seeing a lot of friends there from different countries, Finland, New Zealand even, the US, and all that stuff. So very cool. So this episode will be all about my trip to Paros. It might be longer than 10 minutes. So it probably is. And now, oh my goodness. So I written things down to talk about. And our little friend, Mr. Robinson, is lying on the piece of paper. And I cannot read anything. Cats. We miss the cats though. I promise we miss them for sure. So, Paros, let's see. Yeah, sorry Robinson, but I need the space. You might have noticed the title of this video, of this episode, is called Ode to Paros, Ode to Simos. So first of all, Paros is wonderful. It's an island, Greek, surrounded by sea. So you have very beautiful spots. You have beautiful beaches, beautiful sunsets, and all that kind of jazz. So I already should have shown you probably the group that we were with and this awesome sunset. Anyway, Simos is one of the co-owners of Alia Apartments. That's a place where we stay, and so the collection is his and his brother's, who is studying in the US at this moment, so he wasn't there, sadly enough. Robinson, you're being a jackass. Simos. So I've known him for 6 years now, and this guy is unbelievable. So he makes sure that every visitor, you don't have to be a board gamer, by the way, to go there. Every visitor has the time of their life. At least he tries to give him that time. And he will do anything to please you folks. Well, anything normal. But if you want to know something, if you want to have some tips on what beaches to go, what restaurants to eat, all that stuff, he will be there for you. Do you want someone that talks Greek to reserve you a taxi or whatever? He will make the phone call for you. He will do anything. And in the last 6 years, he has become one of my best friends. And there are some evidence of that. So, by the way, this is Simos. I'll put it big on the screen. He's single, by the way, ladies. He's a teacher, and he is a super duper guy. He's a talented guy as well. He plays guitar, he plays piano, he does some photography. I think he plays volleyball, but it has been a while because he injured his foot. So he is a good swimmer and diver. He can dive for seafood as well. So awesome guy. But especially his character. He's such a nice guy, and oh boy, I wish we could see each other more. And maybe you could call it kind of a bromance, right? This guy is unbelievable, and it saddens me that I will have to miss him for a year now. I wished I lived on the island, and honestly, if we won the big lottery, we probably would move there. And I know in winter there's not a lot to do there, but still, I'm not addicted to working, so it would still be cool, and I think I would enjoy a life over there. I would have to learn Greek. So this time I decided after the trip, I downloaded Duolingo, the app where you can teach languages with. So I decided to download it and give it a try to learn some more Greek. Now the mother of Simos, Maria, she always tries to teach us some Greek, especially with breakfast. So if we're eating breakfast, she will tell you what's inside of the breakfast basket. So we learn how to say bread and olive oil and eggs and all that stuff in Greek, but still very, very, very few words and very basic. Anyway, Simos, man, you're awesome, and thank you for spending time with us. Thank you for driving us to these awesome places. Every year he manages to show us spots on the island that we haven't seen before. For example, the place where we took the group picture of the sunset is flying hair all over with the cat. That place was also on top of a mountain that we haven't been yet, and it was an awesome sunset. But he also manages to make me do things that I probably would never do. He can somehow make me less introvert, and he also makes me do things that I probably wouldn't do otherwise. For example, this thing here, and I'll put it in the small corner because I'm not going to put this on big screen. So he managed to let me jump into the water. It might have seemed higher than it really is, but still, I would never have done that before. So thank you also for that, Simos. Enough praise for Simos, although he deserves a video of hours and hours to be praised enough. Anyway, first stage there were only Simos, Elisa, me, and Alvin. Alvin is this guy, also a very lovely guy from the US, which we already also know for 6 years now. He has been going to a rough time, and he decided also to come a little bit earlier because the first days there were only the 4 of us then. And I must say it was a blast spending time with him and with Simos as well. So also thank you, Alvin, for that. All right. So what else did happen? Then after a few days, the other people came. They to the island, and I have to thank Sharon as well. Sharon is also from the US, and a while ago when it was Gen Con, I saw she was there, and I asked her if she could take some games for me there that I couldn't get here in Europe yet, and she did that, and I'm really thankful for that. So you can see 2 games next to me here on the closet here, which is Cartographers, or Cartographers, however you want to pronounce it, and Silver Amulet. So these 2 are not yet available in Belgium. We played it as well, but about the games played, I'm going to talk more later in an episode where I talk about new games that I played, or new to me games that I played in Paros. I will make a list about that, a future video. I think that will be something for Thursday. And she also brought me the new Covenant expansion for Legendary Encounters Alien, which was a surprise that it was being released. I hadn't heard of it before, and I'm going to do an unboxing. I might film that right after this and put it online tomorrow, or I don't know when, but this will be unboxed. It's a smallish expansion, but I will do so. Talking about Silver Amulet, by the way, look underneath the insert, the box is absolutely crazy big, but it has a reason. But underneath the insert, apparently there was a small expansion or module that you can use. I'm not sure if it's because it's bought in Gen Con, but it was underneath. Elisa discovered it. I would probably have never found it otherwise. All right, more about Paros. There were some very interesting moments. First of all, a few people played my prototype of Kissy Cat, the game that I'm trying to design, and I got some good feedback because Alvin he's an aspiring designer as well, but also one of the Finnish people. He is a designer of Operation Kindergarten, for example, and they give some very useful feedback. So that's for sure. So thank you for playing that game for me. Also cool moments again. We went to this awesome, beautiful place. Simos said it was a cave, but apparently it was a hole and this cave-ish thing, but it wasn't really a cave, but still it was an awesome, cool spot to go swimming. That's where I jumped off the cliff as well. And there were only the 4 of us. That was before the group arrived, and that was crazy. It was a difficult walk getting there across rocks and all that stuff, and we didn't have the right shoes to do that, honestly, and my feet, they suffered a bit from the walk, but the swim and the location was awesome. We also went to the beach that we went to a few years ago, where there is these rocks where this mud, because of the sea getting there, and there is this mud or this clay substance that's on the rocks, and if you harvest it and you put it mix it with some water, you have this muddy thing, and you rinse all your body in it so you look gray. You let it dry so you look like a statue, and then you rinse it off in the water, and your skin is as smooth as a baby cheek, baby butt. I don't know how to say it. And then for me, every time one of the biggest highlights, and this time we did it twice. I think we did it twice last year as well. That's the food. So we went to dinner at a restaurant every evening, I think. Don't think we had one day where we didn't went for dinner or a late lunch. So especially seafood there is awesome, and we do it the Greek way with all the food in the middle of the table and everybody shares whatever. Simos always orders it for us, so he knows what's good, he knows how to surprise us. Very cool. But there's also this restaurant in Lefkes, which is a village more inland, and they serve also very good traditional Greek food. You have these snails where you have to suck out the snail from the shell. You have a cattail, which isn't on the menu officially. Fried zucchini, tzatziki, all those famous things, but also pork chops. And those pork chops, and look at the picture there, this is a plate of pork chops. I could eat a complete plate of this, and I almost did, I guess, the first time for sure. This is my favorite food so far in the whole entire world. It used to be another dish, kind of a stew that my mother makes, and I have to admit this is my favorite one. The mother's recipe is at place number 2, honestly. But these pork chops are awesome. So that's a highlight for me. I got to eat that twice this week, and or last week, and I wish I could eat some more now. Anyway, that's most of my vacation. The weather was good. The sea, the beach, the water was cold but not too cold, and it was a good refreshment for the warm sun. Our trip back was a little bit tougher, so the way we go there, and I think it will be different next year, so we take a plane to Athens, and there we take the ferry to Paros. But the ferry takes about 4.5 hours to, I think, 4.5 hours, 5 hours. So you lose almost an entire day, or an entire day with the flight as well. But you can also take a plane, and I didn't manage to figure that out perfectly, but now I know what I should do. So next year we probably take a plane from Athens airport to Paros, which is, I think, not more expensive, or at least not a lot, and takes about half an hour. So way more interesting. So that we will do that next year. Besides that, our way back, also the ferry, and we stayed in a hotel in Athens, and next day we had to go to the airport. So we first went to the metro to take us to the airport, and we bought 2 tickets, and Elisa scanned her ticket. She went in the metro, and I scanned mine, and it wouldn't open. So there started my battle to get to the airport. So I think it took 4 or 5 people to finally decide to give me a new ticket, because they always said, oh, it's okay now, and I scanned it, it didn't work. They scanned it, it didn't work, of course. And after a while, and after some more people getting involved, they finally just gave me a new ticket. I was a little bit annoyed, honestly. So we took the metro to the airport, where we went to check in our luggage, where they announced that even though we checked in 24 hours before the flight, so very much in time, that they had changed our seats, and that we weren't sitting on our normal seats, and because of a family that wanted to sit together but didn't check in online. So I was a little bit annoyed about that as well, because, well, you don't give me that service when you just change seats without even asking me. So I was pretty annoyed, and he just wanted to get rid of us as well. He said, well, you can ask the crew to change it back, but he knows that we weren't going to do that, because if you do that, then you're the bleep. I'm going to censor this, really. And so, okay, we decided to leave it that way, and then I went to security, where I got through the body scan thing, and of course the alarm went off. Didn't know what for. I had to stand aside, and after a while they decided to swap me and swap my hand luggage for drugs. But I don't mind that, but they didn't say anything. They didn't say we detected something, or there are clues that there might be people having drugs or something. So I felt like a criminal a little bit. Apparently they did the same thing to Elisa. I didn't see that, because I took longer to get all my stuff in these little compartment thingies. But I was annoyed, and I felt a little bit like a criminal. And then we went to the gate, where Elisa went before me. She scanned her boarding pass. She got in. I scanned mine, and it said unable to board. So yeah. Anyway, I made it home. Thank you, Hans, who is my best friend, who is my also was my best man at my wedding. He came in. He came to get us from the airport and drive us back home, which was also an adventure for him, because it was very busy. Traffic was very busy. So thanks for doing that, Hans. We owe you one. And yeah, that was my vacation. Today was my first day at work. They decided that they want to change some things there, the way they handle some stuff, which is not fun to do on your first day after vacation, especially when it's not the best idea, or there are some things missing in their way of thinking. So that wasn't the best day to start today, honestly, but hey, I made it, I survived it. And now we look forward to Essen Spiel in a month and a half. So that will be my next adventure, and I'm looking forward to that. I will talk about that, of course, very much more in the future. Okay, I guess that's it, folks. I could talk about Paros for hours and hours, but that's the main thing here. The channel, of course, is back in business. New episodes of the Vitruvian Life will follow, of course, an unboxing of Alien Covenant expansion, a list about the games I played in Paros, old and new games that I played for the first time, so first impressions, so look forward to that. And who knows what else. I'm going to try to figure out what game I'm going to do my next playthrough of. So, anyway, thank you for watching today's episode. Thank you for enduring Mr. Robinson's tale and more stuff. Maybe you see the hair flying in your picture. And, well, I will be back tomorrow with a new episode of the Vitruvian Life. Thank you for being here. Thank you for, well, waiting for me to get back from vacation. And I hope to see you back tomorrow. See you soon. Bye-bye.